Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this wonderful Saturday of green. Now, we've just had the candles close, hence why I'm doing this video. The daily candle of yesterday has closed, and across the top 10, we are in the green. We've certainly seen some very strong buying coming in to the market, and that's a really good sign because we haven't seen much positivity since realistically back here, and as we know, that wasn't really that much going on. What will we see from here? Well, how can we build a bullish case? Well, that's kind of the question that I think is on everyone's lips. Well, realistically, from my point of view, until we break up through here and have a higher low and a higher high on the weekly, we're just not bullish at all. Now, with that being said, the glorious thing that we've seen right here, and I was talking about this with the divergence here and the fact that, if we broke the low of this candle, I thought we could really go lower. Now, because we've got a lower low and a higher high, that downtrend is now being completely unbuttoned, which is a great thing. First things first, let's be honest, there wasn't a huge amount of trading opportunity through here on Bitcoin. I took this one, I got stopped on both occasions. I took Ethereum Classic short. I got a break-even trade there as my head short. I got stopped out last night on the other portion, and basically it was a break-even trade. Binance, on the other hand, I'm really happy to see it up again today because as Bitcoin here has carried an extra, what have we got? $300 move. Have a look at this. We've got Binance, which is also sitting up on the day as well. So as Binance has obviously increased in value, and it's even held against that massive move on Bitcoin. So that's a double win for me right there. So I'm very happy with everything, the way it's going. Coming across and having a look at this top 10 right now, again, Bitcoin, it's just had a pop up. There's nothing too much more to say at this stage. There is no trends. It'll be really interesting to see how this plays out over the rest of the weekend. Will we see follow through or will we see this stall? Across the rest of the market, euro dollar, Ethereum against the US dollar, again, a really strong pop there. Will we see it continue again, undoing that downtrend that was in play? And on the 4 hour, higher low, higher high. Will I be trading it? Absolutely not. No. As a matter of fact, this pop that we're seeing across the board, EOS had a wonderfully big day. A very, very big day indeed. It had been hanging out in that range and then push, boom, straight through it. Up we go into that middle again. So yeah, with that really big buying, it'd be really interesting to see, will we see it continue or will we see this be a sell-off? One of the things I can say to you as I go through these and just showing to you how all of these are still, all of these have moved quite significantly. Stellar Lumens is the only one that's still really in a downtrend. This is still a lower high to this one, and it still has a lower low, so it's still in a downtrend. But yeah, what I was trying to get at is, one of the positives that I can see here, again, IOTA sitting at that old support and resistance level. We'll see if that breaks. We're looking at the market right now whereby we have seen it move hard. Now, the difference between the way this market has moved, massive move there on Litecoin, and the way other markets have moved, 30% day yesterday on Litecoin, that is just astronomical. The difference, we'll come back to one of that. The difference, again, 12%, the difference is this. Often we'd seen those spike moves, that was all it was, a quick spike, and not a massive one. Here, these are 4 hour candles, ladies and gentlemen. That's a whole 24 hours of movement. Pretty much when I walked away from the charts yesterday and started doing other work, it did start to move. Now, if I show this to you as we see it now, you'll note there was momentum here. I mean, we moved from 34.44 to 35.06. Now, that was more in those 2 hours than we had seen all week until that point in time. So really significant that is. And then, of course, it was followed through by some really strong buying. Yep, we pulled back. Will we see this continue? And was it just spikes? Well, there's a lot of buying there and there's a lot of buying there, but it has continued. Now, I'm not getting on the bandwagon saying that this is the turn of the market. I know many will say this. They'll be hoping for this. And look, honestly, so do I. I'd love to see this market reignite and see us go back into an uptrend. And it doesn't have to go crazy like it did in 2017. A nice gradual progression would really, really set the bar for great opportunities for us to enter, to trade, and for institutions to feel a little bit more comfortable. And that's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win for the whole industry. So yeah, just for me, I won't be trading this weekend. Now that I've seen what's happened right now, I'll be sitting back. I'll be waiting for Monday and seeing exactly how the weekend plays out. So you guys have a fantastic one. Guys, jump across onto the website, tradercobb.com. Of course, if you haven't had an explore through there, please do so. There is free courses there. There is free videos, mentoring. It's not mentoring. There's free webinar resources in there as well. So get your hands dirty, get stuck in. You won't be trading this weekend. Not if you follow my strategies, but it's time to have a look. Cheers, guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you next week. Bye.